You can watch any movie that before. See, I don't like to hear the Lord's name used in vain, the Lord Jesus, and people do it. I mean, it's like they key on that name instead of Buddha or Allah. They won't do that, but but anyway, this thing is pretty cool. It's called the TV Guardian, and we've got one ourselves. And you can kind of leave in what you want or take out what you want if you don't like the foul language for movies, and it's pretty cool. But and another guy called in about the slide fire. I think you ought to check that out. It turns your AR into a simulated full auto, so you might check that out. It's pretty cool. But appreciate you taking my call.
All right, thank you. Very interesting points. We're going to go to break and come back with more phone calls, and then I'm going to get into the Middle East, bunch of political developments, and what's happening in the economy. And we've got Lew Rockwell coming up, joining us as well. So coming up, we're going to have Lew Rockwell on the show to get into what he thinks we should do just about the state going crazy. Also, one of the top environmentalist gurus, in fact, the top guy, has come out now and jumped ship, left the sinking ship. We have that video up at Infowars.com. Breaking, head climate monger jumps ship. That is coming up. I'll be breaking that article down and more top stories from Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.tv. So please stay with us. More straight ahead as we resist tyranny and defend liberty. A little over a year ago, I will fight for freedom. That'd be a good bumper sticker. I thought our military kills for freedom. But now it's been taken over by the globalists. There's some big breaking news at Infowars.com right now. I'm not even going to say what it is until we come back in the next segment. But it has to do with Bilderberg. The article is breaking at Infowars.com seconds ago. Guys, get me Paul Joseph Watson if you can via video Skype. And obviously get me Mark Anderson, whoever else you can, Jim Tucker. Looks like I'll be going to Virginia if this is accurate. Let's go ahead and talk to, I don't look forward to that, let me tell you. Let's talk to Phoenix in Pennsylvania. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex?
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. It's an honor to speak with you. I'm a longtime listener, and the reason I called today, I'd like to suggest a guest for the show. His name is Maxwell Egan. He's an Australian documentary filmmaker. He's an author and radio host. His radio show is called Surviving the Matrix, and it's on the American Voice Radio. And just last week, he released this amazing documentary called Transformation. He's really wise, and he's just an extremely eloquent speaker, and I think he'd be an excellent guest on your show.
Okay, we'll look into it. Thank you, buddy. Let's go ahead to the next plug. Nana in Canada, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, hello.
Hey, welcome.
Hi, how are you, Alex?
Oh, I'm really doing good today.
Wow, I'm actually very nervous to talk to you. I'm not going to lie. Just to let you know that I've been listening to you for over 4 years now. Me and my husband are in complete love with you. You're our hero. There's a lot of things happening in Canada, but I want to know, what do you know what's going to happen here? Because it's complete, blindness. No one knows what's going to happen.
The exact same thing. You're under global standardization. People always ask what's going to happen in Australia, what's going to happen in Canada, carbon taxes, troops in black uniforms, military checkpoints, control, bureaucrats harassing the living daylights out of you, preachers being banned from preaching segments of the Bible that are politically incorrect, control freaks. Hell is going to happen if we don't say no. As Thomas Jefferson said, the level of tyranny you will live under is the exact amount you put up with. Freedom is not given. It is taken. It is demanded. It is paid for. And we have classical crooks globally establishing a standardized, unified continuity of agenda stratagem against humanity. We have a criminal world government run by haters of humanity.
Yes, they are, and we will win. You will see at the end of the day. I am a Muslim, Alex Jones, and to be very honest with you, even in the Quran, it even tells you that there will be a group of elites who will basically make our lives miserable. But it is for us to fight back, and at the end of the day, it's always the minority group. We will win, and they will fail. And I just want to say I love you and keep up the amazing work, and God bless you.
Well, God bless you, and I appreciate your call. And it's all these major religious groups, all the big institutions are under New World Order control. And that's what we've got to recognize and realize and just come together under basic freedom and liberty. The Magna Carta, Constitution, Bill of Rights. The system attacks those and says they're bad documents because they are coffin nails to the New World Order. The family is coffin nails. Joe in New Jersey, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, great to talk to you. I'm an MF Global victim from New Jersey. I just wanted to ask you, Alex, you got to get Lindsey back on, Lindsey Williams, because I'm just curious. He kept talking about a derivatives crack. And that guy they called a whale in Europe or wherever he is, it's Iskay, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Is this the beginning of it, do you think? I mean, we got to get him back. You got to get him back
Well,
on.
look, Soros and a bunch of other top brokers are saying they won't handle people's money now. They're pulling out of the markets because they understand what they've engineered is just such a full collapse. They'll come in after they collapse things even further. This is a vulture economy. And again, if things are run by vultures, they want rotten meat. That's what Agenda 21 is. It's a devolving, imploding, rotting carcass system. It's a predatory system. What, you don't like John Corzine caught stealing your money? Stay there. I want to hear about what MF Global did to you. And he's caught lying to Congress. Of course, he gave the order to steal the money. The memos are all public. The head of the CME group's come out and documented it. And he doesn't get in trouble. Because the TSA is above the law. And because the troops are allowed to breathe uranium and die. Because the health department puts it in our water.
We're on the march.
If you go to the front page of Infowars.com, you will see an article by Paul Joseph Watson. Secretive Bilderberg Group set to meet in Virginia May 31st, June 3rd. We were able to get the scoop last year that it would be in Switzerland, and then it was in between St. Moritz and Geneva, and we were able to confirm it was St. Moritz or Moritz, and I was able to send Paul Watson and Aaron Dykes to that. I can tell you now, now, we're going to go to Paul Watson here in a moment on this subject, but obviously I will be going to Virginia if it is confirmed it's there. And if they're stupid enough to have it at the same Chantilly Marriott Conference Center, that's really good. Because you can really bullhorn the daylights out of them at that facility. And maybe the New York Times will say it doesn't exist again. Maybe they'll choose who the president's going to be again at this meeting. I mean, they had the Washington Post a week and a half ago come out and say that, oh, yeah, Rubio, it looks like it's going to be picked by the Bilderberg Group at a steering meeting. Well, the president's in South America. Rubio's going to be vetted like other vice presidential candidates by Bilderberg. They're having a steering meeting there. So they've gone from saying it doesn't exist, and the Washington Post has always attended since its founding in '54 in Oosterbeek, Holland, at the Bilderberg Hotel. And so the fact that they would do that shows that we've basically completely blown their cover now. But this will be a three-ring circus if that's the case. Now, every 4 years, they do have the meeting in North America. 4 years ago, it was Obama and Hillary, and the motorcade and the machine guns and the plainclothes Marines trying to set us up. And I'm calling the media going, you're looking for Obama. He's been missing for today. Secret Service just drove in here, and it turned out he was there. And the national media just said, we're not interested, thank you. Because they're a bunch of controlled, sold-out whores. I just talked to a national host last week who was at a big meeting, and he said it's all true, everything he talked about. He was offered the whole deal, but told you don't talk bad about the New World Order. You don't talk bad about Bilderberg. You don't talk bad about the Federal Reserve. Given the speech. I mean, of course, we're owned by foreign banks. The country is under a coup d'etat, which is French for coup d'etat. Another attempt at lame humor. I'm going to go back to your calls. I want to hear from Joe, who says he was ripped off by MF Global. I mean, they admit they did. And it's just like, we're keeping your money. If you don't like it, go to a place that's very warm. Well, the TSA worker right and put in the bag for no reason. Go to Hades. But I want to bring up on video Skype from England, Paul Watson, who's broken this news, and he's gotten it from Tony Gosling, who's been a pretty good source of info in the past, at Bilderberg.org. I'm going to check with Tucker, or as the French say, Tuquier, and then I'm going to check with Mark Anderson as well, one of the editors over AmericanFreePress.net. But they're always a little more conservative. They want to be careful, but we'll find out from them by tomorrow what their take is on this. Maybe even today. We got Lew Rockwell coming up. Paul Watson, big story up at Infowars.com. Tell us about it.
Well, Alex, I've been saying for weeks that all this speculation about the meeting in Haifa, Israel, was probably nonsense because they've never met outside of Europe or North America. And then, of course, you've got the US presidential election, which they routinely have an influence in picking the VP, as in the case of John Edwards in 2004, and Barack Obama's VP, Joe Biden, back in 2008. So basically, if you go on the Westfields Marriott Hotel website, which of course is where Bilderberg met both in 2002 and 2008, and you try and book a hotel room from May 31st, which is a Thursday, to June the 3rd, which is a Sunday, there are no rooms available. If you book either side of those dates, there are rooms available, which suggests, although it's not confirmed, that is where the 2012 Bilderberg meeting will take place. Of course, they routinely, not routinely, but occasionally they will book a number of hotels as a decoy to try and throw people off the scent. And even virtually the day before the Switzerland meeting last year, some people thought it was a different hotel than it actually was. So although the hotel's not confirmed, it seems likely that it will be in Chantilly, Virginia, and it will be at the Westfields Marriott.
Well, looks like I'll have to saddle up in the InfoWars command bus and head my Texas hind end up there, Paul. Perhaps we should get a tradition going, and I should fly you into the main command base of the New World Order and have you there at the ceremonies this year.
Well, it's interesting because at the end of last year's conference, myself and Aaron Dykes were having lunch with Mark Anderson and Jim Tucker just before we left the hotel. And we were saying, where do you think it's going to be next year? And I said, I think in regard to the nature walk that they had during last year's conference, where they were confronted by a legion of demonstrators and shouted at, that this year's event will be in some crap-hole authoritarian country where people can be held back and harassed at the border checkpoints. So it looks like that's the case. It's in America. So anybody who flies in is going to get the TSA
Now, hold on. I can call America in its current state a crap hole. You can't. But England's a crap hole, too.
The people who run it.
No, exactly. That's their view of it, I understand. They want to turn America, UK, and every other country into an Agenda 21 festering cesspit is a more politically correct way to say it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as Gosling points out, they're going to be able to stop people from getting in and covering it. Just a shame for them that, you're going to be there. I expect We Are Change, they're going to be there, so... it sounds like a lot of fun that they're going to have once again.
Well, good job, Watson, but we're going to make you on assignment come here. So
I don't know whether I'd be better off writing all the articles about it, but we can have that conversation.
I could be